There we go. Howdy, folks. Welcome back to F&D Outdoors, and I have another knife kit for us today. So the last knife that I put together was from an Epoxying knife kit challenge. This knife today is actually a gift that I got for Christmas from Tom. You've seen him in a couple of my videos from Sac Survival on Bushcraft USA. And this is an Enzo Trapper 115F knife kit. So first of all, let me show you what came in it. This nice sheath for it with a little dangler loop on there. So that's nice. Nice high quality. And then our blade. Now, compared to the last knife I got, let me show you what's a little interesting about this. And I thought I grabbed a piece of paper to bring out here with us, but we'll just take it off this. This is how it comes right out of the box. There we go. I mean, it's just, boom, it's slicing. So this we'll definitely be more careful with. Not that I wasn't careful before, and tape it up while we're working. Now, some of these Enzo kits, they come with the liners as a sheet. This one, I don't know if Tom did it ahead of time or if it came on there, but the liners are attached. So these are kind of a green or a grayish, greenish. They're going to be when they're sanded micarta plates or scales, and we're going to put those on the knife. And then obviously it came with our barrel screws, which we'll have to sand down, which I have some iron files that we'll use to sand those down. Before then we get into sanding it with 60, 600, and then probably 1500 grit to see how polishy we can make it, grit sandpaper. So the first thing you have to do though is since the red liners are on already, which again, maybe they could have come on this one. I saw some of the other knife kits, you have to put them on yourself, but I can't draw a straight line with a ruler, so maybe I got lucky and Tom took care of that for me. But the first step we have to do is set it up with some epoxy. And so this is a metal epoxy. It's 5 minutes, so we got 5 minutes. Mix it up, and then 8 to 10 minutes of setup time, and then an hour cure time, which I'll probably let this knife set for well over an hour before I start working on it. But the first thing we're going to do is epoxy it up, and then we'll get to work. Here we go. All right, it's mixed. And we're just going to spread it on here. I'm just going to do a light coat. And we're going to bolt down these bolts to make sure she's tight. Okay, so there's some epoxy on there, which that's probably not enough. Let me go on here and just a little more there. A little more there. There. And last but not least, a little more there. Okay. Put the knife over here. There we go, and this one. Kind of on a clock. Those are pretty tight, so that's with the scales. Now we see we got a little epoxy coming out here on the back. I don't know that you can see it on the camera, but there's a little there. So I brought a couple extra sheets of paper towel just to rub that down. Okay, now we'll let this sit here and cure for several hours. And then we'll start grinding these down here. And then we'll get to sanding, and I think this is going to look really beautiful once it's all shined up. Just one more time. Nice. We're going to tape this whole thing up because I don't want to hurt the blade while I sand it. So we're going to try to cover every last little bit of it. There we go. Safer to handle. Is it going? It's going. All right. So that was a long wait. We let her set out for a day, and so I got her all taped up there. And now we're going to go and take the bolts here and file them off with an iron file. And then we'll start our sanding and finish this up. Hopefully it's beautiful as I suggest, or I should say, as I assume that it will be. So here we go. All right, this is our 60 grit sandpaper. I wetted this thing down a little bit, and you can kind of see that there's a little pattern coming out in there. So I think I'm going to go a little more with the 60 grit and then switch to the 600 grit. So our scales, red scales in there we can see. Okay, so I think I'm going to go ahead and switch to the 600 grit and see how that does for us. Okay, here's the like glass stuff. This is 1500 grit, a little overkill, but it's what I had at the hardware store. It's shiny, nice and smooth. Holy cow.
Let me know what the... Beautiful. As you can see, this is making some fine, tight little curls. Thanks again, Tom, for the knife. Wunderbar. That looks